Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this year's Fort Bend Cares virtual reception. Kicking off our presentation is this year's Fort Bend Cares Chair, Grail James.
Welcome everyone, we're so glad you've joined us for our first ever virtual grants reception. My name's Grail James. I'm the board chair this year of the Fort Bend Cares Foundation. I want to welcome you, and I want to start by introducing our Board of Trustees. Juan Alexander, Chris Bro, Jonathan Chapman, Drew DeFore, Charles Dupree, Billy Ewell, Apurva Parikh, founder Jim Rice, and myself. All of us are dedicated to fulfilling the mission and vision of Fort Bend Cares, which is to serve disadvantaged children in Fort Bend County and make sure that they have the resources they need to grow into healthy and productive adults in our community. We support nonprofits with various resources. Tonight's event is traditionally to distribute grants to worthy recipients, organizations in our community that support the needs of the youth in our community. We aren't able to meet in person and mix and mingle like we'd like to do, so we're holding this virtual reception so that you can learn more about the organizations that support the youth in our community. Later in this program, you'll hear from one of our founding members, Jim Rice, and you'll also hear from Billy Ewell, who led our grants committee this year with assistance from a former grants committee chair, Patty Ward. We want to thank the sponsors and donors that have made this possible, the volunteers that have volunteered with Fort Bend Cares through our fundraising efforts, through our grants committee, and in all the many ways that volunteers have supported our organization to make these grants to these organizations possible.
My name is Billy Ewell, and I serve on the Fort Bend Cares Board of Trustees and also as co-chair of the Grants Committee. It takes many people and organizations to help fulfill our mission of helping disadvantaged kids in Fort Bend County. I appreciate and thank the many volunteers on the Grants Committee who work hard to help make difficult decisions about which nonprofits to support each year. Likewise, I appreciate and thank the volunteers who lead and support fundraising efforts that precede the grants process. I especially want to thank our sponsors and donors for their contribution, many of whom give financial support year after year. Their contributions are critical to helping disadvantaged kids in Fort Bend County.
Hello, my name is Jim Rice. 15 years ago, my good friend Bob McClendon and I founded Fort Bend Cares. Our goal then was the same as it is today, to raise money to give to not-for-profits who serve the underserved children in Fort Bend County. Bob passed 3 years ago, but if he were here, I know he would join me in thanking all of the many sponsors who have generously supported Fort Bend Cares these past many years. To them, I give my heartfelt thanks. To our grant recipients, I say thank you. Thank you for the service that you provide to the children of our community. Together, we're improving their lives and bettering our community for all. So stay safe, God bless, and we'll see you next time.
And now a special message from all of the 2020 Fort Bend Cares grant recipients.
I am Melinda Stevenson, here on behalf of Clothed by Faith. We are so honored to accept this grant from Fort Bend Cares. So the mission of Clothed by Faith is to demonstrate God's love through the provision of gently used clothing to those in need. And we do this by providing a week's worth of gently used clothing, underwear, socks, and a pair of shoes, just like what's in this bag right here next to me. Each bag of carefully selected clothing that is given by Clothed by Faith comes from a large inventory of clothing. Our donations are collected in freestanding metal bins that are placed strategically throughout the Houston area. This grant will help us cover the expenses for one of those donation bins. The bin will have the Fort Bend Cares logo on it, but even more importantly, the clothing that is collected in this bin will help us clothe hundreds of children and adults in need throughout our area. And so as we partner with schools and other organizations to navigate the next few months, we know that the need for clothing will be great. And so having this additional bin and additional inventory is going to be a huge help to the amount of people that we serve.
Hi, I'm Mike Dotson, CEO of Access Health. We're honored to accept this grant from Fort Bend Cares. Access Health has been providing quality health care to Fort Bend County for over 45 years. This past year, we served 7,000 pediatric patients with over 18,000 visits at our 5 medical sites. Always remember, health services are available to everyone, regardless of ability to pay. The Fort Bend Cares grant will provide new pediatric equipment and will go a long way to provide and improve the lives of our pediatric patients. We're thankful to continue to serve the youth in our communities.
Hello everybody, my name is Caitlin Balson and I'm here representing the T.W. Davis YMCA. The YMCA is so thankful for the generosity of Fort Bend Cares and able to provide us this grant opportunity so that we can continue to run our programs free of charge to families in the Fort Bend area that need it the most. This grant will allow us to run our summer enrichment programs free of charge for kids ages 5 to 12 at select areas around the Fort Bend area. Our summer enrichment program will look slightly different this summer, for we will be following social distancing and CDC guidelines of safe environments. We want to make sure that we are still here and encompassing all of our families here in the Fort Bend County that need us. We'll be also offering food distribution once a week to these families and any families in Fort Bend County that may need it. We would not be able to do the work that we do without the generosity of Fort Bend Cares and this grant opportunity, so we cannot thank you enough.
My name is Annie Richardson, and I'm the Director of Development at Arms Wide Adoption Services. Arms Wide Adoption Services' mission is to transform the lives of children in need of safe and nurturing permanent families. We fulfill our mission through our no fee for service, foster care, adoption, post-adoption, and post-permanency programs. Thanks to generous funding from Fort Bend Cares, we will be able to continue supporting our Fort Bend post-adoptive children and families through the Fort Bend component of our post-adoption program. Through this component, we are able to support Fort Bend kids and families with trauma-informed services, including therapy, support groups, family enrichment activities, resource referral, and case management services offered by our skilled and experienced case managers 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. All of these services are offered free of charge to our kids and families, and we are so grateful to Fort Bend Cares for your continued generosity and partnership in enabling us to support our Fort Bend families with these incredibly important services, especially during this difficult time with COVID-19 and all the economic uncertainty that's come along with it. So thank you all so much.
Hi everybody, I'm Amy Weiss, founder and executive director of Undies for Everyone. We give away new underwear to children in need through schools, homeless departments in the school districts, and through Child Protective Services. We're grateful for the help that Fort Bend Cares gives us. With the grant we got this year, we've bought underwear to serve more children, and particularly at this time, there are so many more kids in need that deserve and want clean, fresh underwear. Hopefully they'll be back in school soon. We appreciate Fort Bend Cares.
Hey, this is Brandon, CEO of Attack Poverty. Thanks, Fort Bend Cares, for your recent grant to us. We really appreciate it. We love our partnership with you guys. As you know, Attack Poverty exists to empower people to attack poverty in their life and community. We do this through strengthening under-resourced communities through spiritual growth, education, revitalization, and basic needs. With this recent grant, we are going to be able to impact hundreds of children in our after-school program called You Can Academy. We say you can because many of our kids hear you can't. And You Can Academy exists to feed the mind, body, and soul. And you guys are partnering with us to make such an incredible difference in the lives of our students in Fort Bend County. We have You Can Academy in several of our locations in Fort Bend, and we're excited to be able to utilize these funds to make needed shifts and pivot so that we can continue to offer virtual opportunities along with the continued opportunities that we have for children after school in the fall. So thanks so much, Fort Bend Cares. We really appreciate it.
Hi, I'm Stacy Bourgeois.
And I'm Lori Motal.
And on behalf of Soul Loved, we are honored to receive this grant from Fort Bend Cares.
Our focus at Soul Loved is to bring hope to children in need through the gift of a new pair of shoes.
This grant will be used to buy brand new shoes for hundreds of low-income children at our back-to-school events this summer.
Without this grant money, many of these children would never know the joy and excitement of receiving a new pair of shoes.
Thank you for relieving this financial burden from our families in need.
Thank you for bringing hope to our children.
Hi, my name is Adam Yates, and I'm here on behalf of Fort Bend Hope to accept this grant from Fort Bend Cares. At Fort Bend Hope, our sole purpose is education, as we believe that education is the key to bringing about long-term change in individuals and families' lives. See, at Fort Bend Hope, we believe education is not just about facts and figures, it's about hope for the future. Because of the generosity of Fort Bend Cares, we're going to be able to buy 5 iPads along with educational software. And why this is so important is really twofold. A, it's going to introduce new and creative ways to expose them to math, reading, even a little introductory coding. Number 2, as we've seen during this global pandemic, technology is not just something that's nice to have or a luxury. It's a necessity in modern life. These iPads will expose these children to technology they may not have at home, and because of that, it will help set them up for the future.
I am Sheena Abraham with Second Mile Mission Center, and we are thrilled and so honored to accept this grant from Fort Bend Cares. Second Mile exists to love our neighbors, meet their basic needs, and equip them as they take next steps in their lives out of poverty. What we will do with this grant is ensure children around the county and their families have food to eat. That includes nutritious fruits and vegetables and pantry staples, non-perishable items. Some of the ways we distribute this food is through the Choice Pantry at our facility and through neighborhood fresh produce fairs and mobile pantry deliveries around the county. Currently, during this season of COVID-19 relief, anytime Second Mile is open with food services, we are seeing 1,100 families come for services. So the support that you are providing means so much to children around the county who need this support and to their families. So we really appreciate you helping us get this nutritious food to the most vulnerable families in Fort Bend County. Thank you so much.
Hi, I'm Stacey Williams. I'm the Development Director here at East Fort Bend Human Needs Ministry. And on behalf of East Fort Bend, we want to thank you to Fort Bend Cares for giving us this wonderful grant. We are so excited because we definitely need it during this difficult time we're all in. At East Fort Bend Human Needs Ministry, our mission is to address the basic human needs of people in temporary financial crisis here in East Fort Bend County. And a lot of those people are children. So we are going to use y'all's grant to help restock these shelves, especially during the COVID-19 crisis that we've had here. Over the past 2 months, we have serviced over 22,000 people, and 10,000 of those were children. So we are definitely going to be restocking our shelves and getting everything back to normal to service our kids here in Fort Bend County. 2 of the big programs that we do focusing on children is we do birthday bags and we do kid sacks. Kid sacks are bags of food that are centered towards children. And our birthday bags are if your kid has a birthday during the month when you come to get a full food order, we give them everything they need to have a little party, including a cake and a toy and decorations and all the good stuff, because especially during this difficult time, who doesn't want to celebrate their birthday? So thank you so much, Fort Bend Cares, for everything that you do for East Fort Bend Human Needs Ministry. You've been supporting us for years, and without you, we could have not served the people that we serve each and every year.
Hi there, my name is Tanya Lewis. I'm the Executive Director for the Fort Bend Rainbow Room, and I am honored to be accepting this grant from Fort Bend Cares. The Fort Bend Rainbow Room provides emergency supplies to children and adults that come into state care due to abuse and neglect. This funding from Fort Bend Cares will help provide school supplies, school clothes, shoe socks, underwear for children in CPS. Not having these supplies can make a huge developmental impact on the children that we serve. These supplies are really important for our clients to have so that they can succeed and have a chance at a brighter future. Part of the Rainbow Room's mission is to provide hope and dignity, and being able to be successful at school will help bring a brighter future for the children that we serve.
Hi, my name is Leanne Balmel, Development Manager for Casa de Esperanza and a fellow Fort Bend resident. I am honored to accept this grant from Fort Bend Cares today. Casa de Esperanza strives to break the cycle of child abuse and neglect for infants, young children, and their families by providing comprehensive residential and family support programs. We have served the Houston community for 38 years and in 2019 provided support to more than 100 children from Fort Bend County. All programs are provided at no cost to the families through the generosity of our community and without government funding. The Casa de Esperanza residential program provides a safe home for children birth through age 6 in the Casa de Esperanza neighborhood or through numerous volunteer community foster homes. A community home is sought for those children who are expected to be with us an extended period of time. These homes provide a stable family-like environment where the child can thrive. Many of our community foster homes come from Fort Bend County. All Casa de Esperanza foster parents serve without pay and are considered volunteers. The high cost of daycare can be a stumbling block for many families who are willing to open their home to a child. This grant from Fort Bend Cares will provide much needed daycare assistance to a Fort Bend foster family so that they may open their home to a child in need. This grant could mean the difference between a child in need of a safe foster home and a family willing to provide that home. Casa de Esperanza appreciates the many years of support from Fort Bend Cares. Your support truly does make a difference to the children in our community.
My name is Michael Gutierrez, and I'm the Executive Director of Rosenberg Richmond Helping Hands. I'd like to start by saying thank you, Fort Bend Cares, for selecting our organization to receive another year's grant from you. We are grateful for that. Since our organization is an emergency food and clothing pantry, and we assist a lot of individuals in our community that are low income and sometimes do not have the means to be able to purchase these items for their kids. So this grant is going to be utilized to provide milk and undergarments for the youth in our community. And again, we'd like to thank Fort Bend Cares for their generosity. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. And we hope that we can continue this partnership in the future.
Hi, I'm Shannon Stavinoa, Executive Director of Parks Youth Ranch, and we are thrilled to be a grant recipient from Fort Bend Cares for 2020. Parks Youth Ranch is a 501c3 nonprofit emergency shelter located in Fort Bend County, just outside of Neesville, Texas. We are home to 28 beds for kids aged 7 to 17 who are at risk of homelessness or are part of the DSPS foster care system. We sit on 8 acres with 2 stocked fishing ponds for peace and tranquility, and something maybe a little bit more normal for kiddos to begin the healing process from the trauma that they've endured. There are 2 other big buildings on our property. The Counseling Center, which is home to our crisis counselor, where kids can come and meet with our crisis counselor. They can also work on their education in the student learning lab, and they can attend group counseling sessions in a group counseling room. And then we also have the Recreation Center. The Rec, as our kids like to call it, is a place for socialization, and it's the hub. Kids can play pool, they can play video games, they can play ping pong, they can attend yoga classes. Our staff even use it for training sometimes. The Rec Center is really a hub to be with your peers and hang out with your friends and do those normal things, have a movie night or have popcorn fights, all those fun things that normal kids like to do. Over the years, the roof for the Rec has fallen in disrepair. And so now we do need to make some repairs to it. We are so grateful to Fort Bend Cares for leading the way with this $5,000 grant to begin the repairs of the roof of the Rec Center. Thank you so much for everything that you do for our community.
I'm Bahasti Shalajur, dentist of Memorial Herman Community Benefit Corporation. This is my assistant, Ms. Maria Montalongo. We are honored to accept this grant from Fort Bend Cares, and we appreciate all you do for the children of Fort Bend County. Memorial Hermann Health Center for School program is designed as medical, mental health, social service referral, nutrition counseling, and dental home for uninsured and underinsured children, comprising of 10 school-based clinic and 3 mobile dental vans. The primary goal is to bring healthcare to children who otherwise will not obtain it, and to keep children in the school where they can learn. The grant from Fort Bend Cares Foundation provides dental supplies for the mobile dental clinic at Lamar and Terry Health Center. Through cleaning, sealant, restoratives, filling, extractions, and 6 months follow-up, we provide a dental home to uninsured children. The mobile dental program strives to provide the highest standards of continuity dental care. The Memorial Hermann Health Center for School program has been open to serve students throughout the COVID-19 pandemic, even while schools have been closed. Never before has access to care been so important, and we at Memorial Hermann are here to meet that need. We appreciate Fort Bend Cares' continued support of our efforts for the children we serve.
Hello, my name is James Patterson. I'm the chairman of the board for Achieve Fort Bend. Our purpose in life is to help reduce the dropout rate in schools, and we figured out several years ago that to do that we need to start at a very young age. We start with first graders. We work to help first graders in Title I schools, the first graders that are having difficulty reading, some of them not reading at all. We provide 10 books to each student in a book bag. It's their books. Many of these youngsters, it's the first time they have had a book of their own, much less 10 books of their own. We put labels in the books with their name on them. To do this, it costs about $50 per student, and thanks to Fort Bend Cares, who is contributing $5,000, that means each time we do this, Fort Bend Cares is providing books for 100 students. This past year, we provided 10,000 books for Needville, Stafford, Lamar Consolidated, and Fort Bend ISD. It truly makes a difference for these youngsters in our community and the potential for them to catch up as they move forward. Again, we thank you, Fort Bend Cares. We thank the school districts for the time and effort that they put in to try to get these books to these youngsters. The constables for their help in delivering, to Pamela Printing for their support by providing labels that go in these books, and to the community, each member of the community that provides books. We appreciate them. Churches, we have a church who has adopted one of the schools.
I am Vera Johnson, Executive Director of Fort Bend Family Promise, and we are honored to accept this grant from Fort Bend Cares. The focus and purpose of Fort Bend Family Promise is to provide homeless youth and their families from Fort Bend County with temporary shelter, basic needs, and support services that enable them to gain the tools to expeditiously regain permanent housing. Fort Bend Family Promise has a program entitled as Youth Empowerment Planning Program, YEP program. The YEP program engages young people experiencing homeless through community-based education, mainstream services, mentoring, college preparation, and enrichment programs to help them develop skills and strengthen the ties to their family and their community. Fort Bend Family believes that it is economically and morally imperative to create new opportunities for our young people. Thank you, Fort Bend Cares.
Thank you, Fort Bend Cares.
As our virtual grants reception comes to a close, I hope you've enjoyed the compilation of videos, I hope you've learned a bit more about Fort Bend Cares and how we fulfill our mission to get resources to disadvantaged youth in Fort Bend County. And I hope you've learned about the nonprofits that have received grants this year and the vital roles that they play in our community. At Fort Bend Cares, we believe that when we work together, we can improve the lives of disadvantaged youth in our community. And we believe that we can do more together than any one of us can accomplish alone. This is why we do what we do. This is why Fort Bend Cares exists. If you'd like to join us in supporting our organization through volunteering or through financial support, please go to our website at fortbendcares.org, email us, reach out to us, and I'll be happy to personally contact you and discuss how you might join us in the effort to meet the needs of disadvantaged children in our community. We have so many needs. We have the poor, the hungry, the homeless, the abused, and so many more children who need our help. Please reach out so that together we can help every child that needs our support. Thank you so much for tuning in from Fort Bend Cares.